right, welcome to Trout Talk right here on Saga 960 AM. I think it's episode number 1000, it seems like to me, but I think it's like episode 16 or something like that of the season, or 15. Anyway, my name is Mike Karafilidis, along with my partner, Brendan Lang. We're both broadcasters of the Brampton Steelheads. This is your official broadcast of the Brampton Steelheads. Brendan, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, Mikey. Thank you for asking. It's been a pretty good week. I got my last golf round in of the year on over the weekend. I played on Saturday, I believe. So last time out, I think weather's starting to get a little bit colder. It was a little chilly out there. I played really poorly, so I think I want to put the clubs away for the winter. I think that's probably the best course of action. So got that last one in as the weather's getting a little bit cooler. But outside of that, not too much going on. Working. Of course, we had a couple 3-3s with the Steelheads, so lots of Steelheads hockey going on. But outside of that, it's been pretty much par for the course regularly what's going on in my weeks.
So it's like Groundhog Day, right? Did you go, I don't know, nothing else? Did you have a hot dog somewhere? Did you have at the golf
Hot
course,
dog.
did you have a water?
Oh yeah, I got water at the golf course. I think I actually just had fries at the golf course. Pretty good fries, actually.
Okay.
I will say they were pretty good. In a couple weekends, I guess not this weekend that we're in right now, but the one after, I'm going to be going to Michigan to watch a football game at Michigan Stadium in Ann
Okay, here
Arbor.
we go.
So,
There we
so
go.
I'm
Now
I'm
we're
looking
talking.
forward to that one. For our next Trout Talk, I can update you on what went on there.
Wow, you're going to see the University of Michigan there.
Yes, University of Michigan. I think
Who are
they're
they
playing
playing?
Northeastern, I think it is.
Oh, there's a barn burner. No, but I mean, Michigan should beat them, but the
Yeah.
whole experience, man, you must be really looking forward to that, huh?
Yeah, I've never been to a football game outside of the CFL, so I'm
You've
looking
never
forward to it.
been? Oh
No, no,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I've been to
Oh,
Argos games, I've been to Tiger Cats games, so I've never been outside Canada. So looking
oh, you're
forward to
gonna
it.
love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the tailgate. You're gonna
Yeah,
love the food. I mean, I don't know if you guys are gonna barbecue or anything like that, but just the atmosphere, just the whole thing. Take it all in, man.
yeah.
Life is too short. Enjoy it. Enjoy every second of it, because I guarantee you, when you leave there, you're gonna be like, "Oh my goodness! Like, this was just awesome." And one thing you're never gonna forget, right? So
Yeah,
that's kind of
100%.
cool.
100%. My dad and I are going down, and my his friend and his sons are coming, so it should be a good
Oh,
time. I'm
you
looking
guys should be
forward
a
to it.
blast. Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys going
yeah.
the day before kind of thing, or?
Yeah, so actually, the Steelheads play on that Friday night. I'm blanking on who they're playing right now, but I'm leaving after the Steelheads game. Got to drive to Windsor after the Steelheads game, so it'll be a drive and during the night. But it's
Right
yeah,
after the Steelheads game, you're driving
yeah,
to Windsor.
that's right.
Boy, you're a trooper. You're a trooper. Driving all the way from there to Windsor right after. Well, that's not too bad,
Not
actually.
too
Well, you're there.
not too far.
It's like 4.5 hours, I
Yeah,
think, something
something
like
like
that.
that. I think. Yeah.
I don't know. It depends how fast you drive. If you go like 180, 160, I think you'll be there in you should be 3.5, 4 hours, no?
Yeah, that's pushing it. I don't know if I'm going that fast, but uh, we'll
Yeah, yeah,
get
better
there.
watch
We'll
it down
get
there.
there in
That
some good time.
highway drives me crazy going down there, driving
I've
on that
never been
highway.
down there even that way, so
No?
again, all new experiences for me coming up in a couple weekends here.
There you go. Yeah, you're gonna love it. You're gonna
There
love
we
it.
go.
The highway should be, just make sure. Hopefully, it's good weather for you, my man.
Yeah, yeah.
Driving down there, right? So, but the weather that we've been getting lately, it seems like it's gonna be summer like all year round. So
Hey, if it's like this, I mean, I think today was a little cooler, like maybe 7 or 8 degrees, but it was sunny all day. So give me
beautiful,
that, man.
beautiful,
Yeah, I'll
beautiful.
take
Well,
that
that's
all
good.
the time.
That's good.
How about you?
Well,
What happened for you this weekend
oh well,
or this week, I should say?
well, we were on the road last weekend,
Yeah, that's
whatever,
right.
in Ottawa and Kingston. Uh, Couple losses, but whatever. And that was a little tiring and whatnot. And then took my car in to get uh, the tires done. Got the winter tires on and stuff like
Nice.
that. And got the oil change happening, and all the fluids topped up and all that kind of stuff. Hefty bill. I don't care, but it has to happen.
Has to be
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, I looked at the bill after and I was like, oh, yay. But you got to do what you got to do. And this is, part of to keep your car good for the winter time. So,
Right.
but anyway, so that's about it. Yeah. and saw my son swimming and stuff like
Oh,
that, and
beautiful.
played with him, of course, and some family stuff, and it never stops, right? So, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's the way she
Sounds
goes.
like a good week.
Yeah, it's either she goes or she doesn't go. So she was pretty good. She was going all weekend. So, anyways, so that's about it. I mean, yeah, so we had some Steelheads games this weekend, of course. Well, three. It was a 3-3. It was a tough 3-3 uh for Brampton, Brendan. That's for sure. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely was. And you had mentioned there the two games that they played in Ottawa and then in Kingston. Kind of similar games in the sense of the fact they just couldn't seem to get any offense cooking. And defensively, again, I mean, he gave up 5 goals in the game against Ottawa, and I think it was 8 in the game against Kingston. I mean, I think, what was it, 3-2 going into the third period against the Frontenacs, and
Right.
then the Frontenacs scored 2 quick ones. I think it was early on in the third period, and then they just really took it to them after that. So yeah, those were 2 tough games. Obviously, going on the road, 2 tough places to play, of course, going into Ottawa, going into Kingston, and they just they weren't able to do it. Of course, that is the second 3-3 in 2 weeks, so there's going to definitely be some fatigue there. They're now done with 3-3s though. That's the last one of the year, so I think that maybe they can be happy about that. But yeah, it was definitely a tough weekend, like you alluded to. They come back, play a Brantford team that they had slaughtered the first time that they played, and again, it looked like they were going to get off to a good start. Misa scored early. You liked what they were doing, and then Brantford just really controlled the game after that. So tough weekend for the Steelheads.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Friday going in against Ottawa 67 team, who was pretty much, what it looked like they really got a big boost with Brady Stonehouse coming back to the
Yeah.
lineup. And it was funny, the day before on Thursday, they find out that he's coming back on the Friday. Perfect, just in time to play the Steelheads, but whatever. It's all good. Um, so, yeah, I mean, great player, grinder, and he was right away. You could see the impact he has on these guys, on this Ottawa 67 squad. Like he was just all over the place, hitting, chirping. This is what he does, the way he plays, hitting, chirping, standing in front of Jack Ivankovic. I mean, like perfect screens and perfect screen on one of the goals and hitting and whatnot. So, anyways, Ottawa, they came out on fire, and uh, full credits to them. They outshot the Steelheads, they outmuscled the Steelheads, and the intensity level for the Steelheads wasn't as good as the Ottawa 67s team. So
Mhm.
that was a 5-1 loss there. And then against the Kingston Frontenacs, again, like they got off again a bad start, and it was a 2-0 quick lead for the Frontenacs right off the bat. And Gage Hayes scoring 2 goals. I mean, so you get off not to the best of starts again, and they tried to match them. They tied the game at 2, and it looked like the Steelheads were getting all sorts of momentum and whatnot. And then, they made it 3-2 before the intermission, as you said. And then after that, the wheels just kind of fell off, and Kingston just really took it to the Steelheads in the third period. But again, Porter Martone's out of the lineup. Let's look on the bright side, not bright side, but let's look at some of the factors this weekend.
Mhm.
Um, Porter Martone out of the lineup on Saturday, but he was in the lineup on Friday. Got suspended for 1 game for a hit from behind on Friday. So you look at that, but one and another some other guys before I get to the positive part, but some other guys that were out of the lineup, of course, uh, Stevie Lescavar, Angus McDonnell's out of the lineup, Lucas Carmiris is out of the lineup, uh, Luke Dragusica. Who else am I missing? It just
Vaughn
seems
Richter
like
was out
everybody.
too. He
Von
got hurt in
Richter
the
was
game
out
in Ottawa. Yeah.
on Saturday. He was out.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's on Saturday. But it's tough. I mean, I think they really need these injuries to come back, Brendan, and especially guys like McDonnell, Carmiris, and Lescabar, right? I mean, what do you
100%,
think?
100%. I mean, you had just finished talking about Brady Stonehouse coming back in the lineup for Ottawa and how much of a boost that gave them.
Yeah.
I think McDonnell and Leskovar specifically kind of play that same energy, sort of heart and soul role that Brady Stonehouse plays on that Ottawa 67s roster. So
100%.
when those guys are out of the lineup, it definitely is a tangible difference in the energy and the physicality in the games that you see from the Steelheads than when those guys are in the lineup. So getting back those two players, of course, Von Richter in that as well, and Lucas Carmiers, who again we don't really have a timeline on of when he'll be back. All of those guys are extremely important. Hopefully, Von Richter's isn't too serious. Maybe he'll be back this weekend. Leskovar, I know he warmed up in the game on Sunday against Brantford, so hopefully he's back in the lineup. I know McDonnell's still probably a couple weeks away. But just they need these players back in the lineup. And once they do, I think that's when you can start to see the team get on a roll. And I mean, they can get on a roll before that. I still think they have enough talent there to do it. It's just obviously makes it a little more difficult when you don't have guys that are regular mainstays in your lineup that bring such big parts of your team night in and night out.
Yeah, and it's like, one positive part on the weekend. It's nice to see Mason Zabeski back in the lineup for the Steelheads. I thought he was one of the best players on the ice on
Really
Friday.
good.
One of the best players for the first time back in a very long time. Zabeski was out. He looked good. He looked like he didn't miss a beat. Saturday, he looked even better on Saturday. So that's a good sign. And hopefully, we can get there. The Steelheads can get the injuries back and whatnot sooner than later. So it looks like, as you said, Leskovar should be in this weekend. McDonnell, don't know, couple weeks, 1 to 2 weeks maybe. Carmiers, we don't know, as you said. Who else am I missing here? It seems like I'm missing everybody.
Von Richter,
Von
again.
Richter.
I mean, we don't know.
It seems like there's like a 500 injuries the way
Dragusika,
right? Dragusika, the list goes on. So every team, bottom line, every team's going to go through these things sometimes. And now we're through a quarter of the season, if you could believe that. So it just went by so fast, right? So they're gonna need these injuries back and whatnot. But I say this, and I'm gonna say this to everybody who's doubting this team right now. And I'm sick and tired. And we can keep this on here, unedited, but I'm gonna keep it in the nicest way possible. Okay? Nicest way possible. I see all these people coming on and saying, "Oh, what's going on with the Steelheads? What's going on with the Steelheads? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's over." It's not over. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a quarter of way through the season. The trade deadline's coming up. This team has injuries. Okay? That's what's going on with this team. This team plays hard. This team has good goaltending. When the players come back, and I'm going to say this to a couple of sites out there, look out. Thoughts? And I'll keep it at that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. They do play obviously a very hard game, and they have obviously good goaltending, like you said, good coaching as well. I do think that when the players get back into the lineup, that's when they're going to be able to catch their stride. And you had mentioned too, you look at the trade deadline; they have spots open for trades, and they have a lot of draft picks to move. So I would fully expect that there's still an open overage spot just right now. Spencer Sova and Stevie Leskovar, and they're going to get one of those. I think they probably get a defenseman too. Like there's going to be moves to be made. So I agree with you that it's early on in the year. I know all the games matter. It's not about that. All the games matter, but there is still a lot of runway here for them. And it's not like they're way behind at last place. I mean, they're right in the mix still, even not playing their best hockey.
Talk to us talk to us in January. Talk to us in January. That's what I'm trying to say. Then we're going to see which teams are all set up. Okay. You got these teams that are up there, the number 3, and everybody's all complaining, "Oh, my team isn't in the CHL top 10, and my team isn't in the OHL power rankings and whatnot." What does that mean, folks? It's nice to have, right?
Yep.
It's nice to have and whatnot. But you know what matters at the end of the year? That's what matters the most. And I'll keep it at that.
Yeah, and remember we talked about it multiple times on here. Peterborough, after the trade deadline a couple of years ago, and they went through a really bad stretch, and everybody was saying, they got too many guys, they got too many star players, they don't know how to play together, they won't be able to win. Obviously, that worked out pretty well. So teams go through tough stretches. The Seals get off to such a great start to the year. You thought, oh, they're just going to carry this through the whole year. That's not realistic. It's never going to happen. So they're going through a speed bump right now, and hopefully that I know James Richmond always says, why can't you win every game? But hopefully, realistically, this stretch of games helps them going forward to know kind of they've been there before and they know how to work their way out of it.
And they got this team has top-notch coaching. Top-notch. The coach is top-notch. We all know that. James Richmond and general manager. The best. Everybody's going to say their team is the best. We think our team is the best. But in my opinion, he's the best.
Yeah.
Great assistant coaches. Matt Chiarantano works with that defense, does a great job. Stephon Thorne does a great job with the forwards. A fantastic job he does with the forwards, right? This team is going to get stronger. They're just going through this injury bug right now. And as you mentioned, how about Peterborough? How about Sarnia that year?
Yeah.
We talked about it. Nobody expected, Sarnia, same kind of thing. They made a couple deals. Well, they made one deal, a couple deals with the Steelheads, and they ended up with Porter Bartone and Angus McDonnell. But just to say, right? But they went for it. So we all know this is, the Steelheads year, right? So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what James Richmond does, if he does anything. But this team is talented, great coaching, great GM. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. So those people out there, those doubters, I say this. Talk to us at the end of January. At the end of January. Brendan's all quiet. But that's just the way I feel. It's something I had to get off my chest.
Yeah, 100%.
It's stuff that I see online and whatnot. It's just like, really, are you kidding me? But anyway.
That's what this is for, to get it out there, get it out off your chest. So yes, I think you're right. I mean, like you said, there's going to be times where you go through this. You're not going to be great all season. You mentioned Sarnia. We talked about Peterborough. There's obviously countless examples of this same thing happening to teams that went on to do great things. So I think that's kind of the best way to leave it.
Sure. And you know what? It's not how you start. It's how you finish, ladies and gentlemen. It's how you finish. And that's why they play the games. All right. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, the human pinball will be our guest. We're right back on Saga 960 AM. This is Trout Talk. All right. Welcome back to Saga 960 AM. Trout Talk. And this is episode number 16. As I said, I keep saying 253. I'm Mike Karafilidis, along with my partner Brendan Lang. We're both broadcasters of the Brampton Steelheads. And right now, our guest is the human pinball, second round pick of the Brampton Steelheads. There he is, Mr. Troy Patton.
Hey,
Troy,
guys.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. No problem. It looks like you got a shoe closet going on in the background there. What's going on?
Just picture framing the billets. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, welcome to the show, and really appreciate you coming on. So Brendan and I are really looking forward to talking to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Troy, I mean, I guess we can just kind of start off talking about how it's been to start your OHL career. Of course, Mikey and I were talking about it a little bit earlier on in the show. Now, about a quarter way through the season, you got to play a lot here recently with the injuries in the lineup. So, how's it been your first go around here in the OHL?
Yeah, it's been great, honestly. Like, just to start off, like, the guys have been great, like, very welcoming and supportive. So that helped me out a lot for sure. And then obviously at the start of the season, I was sick, and then the past few weeks now I've been playing, so it's been a lot of fun and really good to get back at it for sure.
So Troy, your very junior Colts team, your OHL Cup roster, I mean, guys that are on your team, Alex McLean, Nathan Amidovsky, Kent Greer, Jason Schaubel. It's a pretty impressive group, right?
Yeah.
Do you still keep in contact with these guys? These are all guys that have been drafted the same year as you. So
yeah, for
talk
sure.
about that.
I talked to all of them for sure, even the ones who aren't playing in the OHL. But for sure, before every game and after every game, I'll be talking to the ones I'm playing for sure. And then even like honestly, I talk to all of them. So
what do you guys talk about?
Very close. So.
What do you guys talk about? You guys talk smack to each other? What's going on? Okay, what do you talk about?
I wouldn't say smack, but
I'm just kidding.
We leave the smack during the game, so
there you go. That's good.
And with
That's good
that,
stuff.
with that Barrie Junior Colts team, Mikey said it there. You played in the OHL Cup, so how was that experience? Kind of going through that to help you moving forward in your career.
Yeah, it was a great experience. That we had a very close group in Barrie, so it was very good to be with that group for sure. And then obviously our OHL Cup didn't go that well, but didn't go the way we wanted it. But we had a great group, so it was fun to battle with them for sure.
That's great. So you scored your first OHL goal. I already know what you're gonna say. Talk about the feeling. Let's see if you say what I think you're gonna say. But tell me what you did with that puck.
Yeah, it was just coming down the wing, and then earlier in the game, I made a pass. I kind of forced something through the middle, and coach said just shoot it next time. So I just had the shoot first mentality kind of going into it, and I saw low glove open, so just tried to get her in.
Oh, congratulations to you on that.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
congratulations to you on
thank
your first OHL fight as well.
Well, I was going to ask you about that
Brendan,
one
you can
because,
ask him.
yeah,
Brendan can go on you on
well,
that one.
because of course you scored at other points in your career. Was that the first fight you've ever been in?
like gloves off, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So how did it transpire? How was the first fight?
It was good. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good fight. It was cool, like to square off for the first one, but yeah,
Gotta be careful with that squared off there, right?
yeah. Hopefully, there's more coming. So
But you can't
I like that.
remember the rule though. Remember the
yeah,
rule.
coaches didn't
Okay.
like it off the draw, but I don't
Hey,
think
you'll learn.
allowed to do that.
Exactly. Hey, that just shows up to me your physicality. I know we joke around about it and stuff like that, but that just shows your physicality and your the way you play out there. I call you the human pinball. Is just every time you're out there, somebody's taking a hit and
Yeah,
you're flying all over the place, right? So
yeah,
talk about that. You always been that kind of a player, like hard nose,
yeah,
because it seems
yeah.
like you were a goal scorer. You were a goal scorer with the Barrie Junior Colts, but you're a tough as nails. So have you always been that kind of a player?
Yeah, like that. I've always been a physical guy, and just I love playing like that. So even since ever since we were allowed to hit, I've always enjoyed that part of the game, and even little scrums and everything. I just like being in there and battling. So yeah,
And of course, playing that physical style of game, you need to, of course, be strong. And as you go into your OHL career here, the workouts sort of change. So how is that all? How have you kind of adapted to that side of it? Maybe off the ice more, whether that be pregame, getting ready, your routines, or in the gym working out. Like, how has that aspect changed for you since you've gotten into the league?
yeah, no, for sure. I've been spending a lot more time in the gym. Like we're in the gym every day, so definitely getting stronger. And then before games, it's not too like lifting weights, just more like stretching and getting the legs going. But definitely like after game days and during the week, yeah, putting a lot of time in the gym and just trying to get bigger and stronger to catch up to the older guys.
How much can you bench press, Troy?
I'm not bench press isn't my strong suit. They're around like 185.
Do you
190.
meditate before games?
I do.
Yes, you do.
I do. Yeah.
I've caught you.
Oh, Mikey called that one.
Yeah.
I've caught you.
Yeah.
I'm
do.
just saying, I've caught you. But it's a good thing, though.
Hey,
I
that's good.
meditate.
No, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
I knew
so
it.
do you
I knew
have
it. Good
do
for
you
you.
have
Good
any
for
do
you.
you have any other superstitions then if meditating's in there? Is there anything else that you kind of have to do before a game?
I like playing sewer with the guys, just getting the blood going and kind of staying upbeat is good. And I like to stretch and tape my stick and everything, but I think that's normal. So
Yeah, exactly. When you meditate, how long do you meditate? Do you make sure your both feet are on the ground? Yeah, you do. I've seen it.
I don't
Okay.
really think about my feet when I'm meditating.
No, that's what I do. No, I'm just saying because I always make sure both feet are on the ground and I meditate. And I
Yeah.
sit there and I just like,
Yeah,
it's awesome. Great
I'd
feeling.
say
Thanks.
a few minutes, just going over some circumstances and stuff like that,
Mhm.
plays and everything. So
It helps.
yeah.
Good for you.
Gotta
Good for you. That's it.
Now, I want to ask about. We're kind of just talking about early on in your career. You have your first sort of road trip there with the 3-3. You go to Ottawa. You go to Kingston. How was that? Of course, a little bit different than what you're used to. And was
Yeah.
there maybe somebody on the team that took you under their wing a little bit, kind of showed you how to do things when you're on the road?
Yeah, I'd say I roomed with Vanner the both nights, so that was very helpful. He's a
Mm-hmm.
great guy.
Yeah,
We
he is.
really got to know each other, so I'd say him for sure. And then just all the guys, it's good. So, and then all the younger guys, we hung out and played chell. So
There you go.
And played the cello.
no, and NHL. It's a video.
Oh, NHL.
Video game.
You can see how tired I am. I apologize.
Yeah.
Who's the
NHL.
best? Who's the best Chell player?
Oh, I'd say I think
I could.
Eggy's pretty good. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I would have guessed. Yeah, I don't know. I would have guessed maybe for some reason McDonnell would be like.
He wasn't on the road trip, so
Oh yeah. You're talking about the road trip. Okay, I thought you were just talking about in general. So talk about the practices. Talk about your practices now with James Richmond. How tough are they? Are they obviously they're a lot tougher than you were with the Barrie Junior Colts, right?
yeah.
So talk about that. Talk about the
Yeah,
practices, how much they've helped you.
Yeah, they're very helpful for sure. I mean, I go out, try to get out like 30 minutes early and just work on like own shooting stuff. And then come practice time, it's all upbeat drills, high pace systems and battling, compete. And then at the end, I try to do like again just draws for myself and shooting and stuff like that. So it's definitely good having the extra time to work on yourself, but also come practice time, we're not slacking at all. It's always upbeat, high pace, and get to work.
And of course, being a younger player on the team, you're still in high school. So how are you able to kind of balance all of that? You talk about the practices being tough. You practice all throughout the week. You play on the weekends. Like, how are you sort of balancing the school and the hockey part of it?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging more at the start, but now since I've gone to a routine, I bill it with Drag, so he's been a huge help driving me to school and stuff like that, and then just helping me around school and everything. So he's been a huge help. Same with Whit, he drives me to the rink, and then yeah, those guys have been a huge help for me for sure in that area.
That's awesome. So you obviously work with Stephon Thorne. How much has he helped you in your game so far?
He's been a huge impact in over just some short time. So hopefully as time goes on, it just keeps ramping up and getting better and better. But he's been a huge help. We work every practice. So it's just really good to get to know him for sure. Like as soon as I got here, he like took me under his wing kind of and just told me, yeah, we're going to be putting in a lot of work and just after practice and stuff. So it's definitely helped me out a lot.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you talk about Stephon Thorne there. How about James Richmond? I mean, how has his coaching style kind of impacted your game?
I love it. I love his coaching style. Just he's positive, but gets to the point too. Like very upbeat and just, yeah, it's been great.
It's been very, very intense, huh?
Yeah.
More intense, hasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But it's good though. It's good. So you got the road trip out of the way, so how do you think now you're ready for the next road trip, right, Troy? What to expect and what not, right? So, talk about some of the things that Van Bolsen taught you.
He just taught me he just like showed me the ropes kind of, just took me to the room and told me the ins and outs kind of, and then we just kind of went over our past life. Like when we were like 8 years old, we would skate together and we didn't even notice it. Wow. So, and we used to play like lacrosse in the same organization and stuff like that. So it was good to get to know him. So
I would say you were a lacrosse player. Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew there was something behind that.
Yeah. Did you play lacrosse like all the way up until you were drafted?
I kind of let it go like minor midget year kind of. just because I was super busy and
Sure.
I was playing baseball and stuff. So, but yeah, I love lacrosse. Like my cousin plays in Orangeville for like junior A, so I got out to watch a couple of his games this over the summer and made me really miss it. So
Okay, right, Troy. So the easy question, of course, who do you model your game after?
Matthew to Chuck.
Everybody's Matthew Tkachuk, huh?
Love that.
Yeah, I like that too. Like that's amazing. All right, Matthew Tkachuk. And who's a player? If you wanted to meet somebody, who would it be?
Sorry, what was that?
If you wanted to meet a hockey player besides Matthew Tkachuk,
Meet
who would
some.
it be? Yeah,
Uh,
any Chuck. Could be anybody. Actually, any celebrity, anyone. If there's anyone you could meet, all right, let's make it that question. If there's anyone you could meet in the world, who would it be?
I'd say.
I know what it would be for me. You go ahead.
That's a good question.
All right, let's stick to hockey then. All right, hockey.
I'm gonna have to keep her simple and just go with Matthews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody says Matthews too.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hey, it's a good answer.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, absolutely.
Who would you meet, Mikey?
Who would I meet? If
Yeah.
there was anybody in the. You know what? I'd want to meet the Prime Minister of Antarctica
Oh yeah.
if they have one. Yeah.
Do you know his name?
No,
Okay.
but I want to go there, and I just want to meet who runs the country. I want to see what's going on over there. Yeah, like something interesting.
That's a good one.
I want to go there. I want to go there.
I'll bet you. I'll bet you're the only one who has that answer. So you're unique enough.
No, honesty, no, seriously, that would be my number one. My number two, I probably want to meet I don't know. It's a tough one. Yeah, I'd want to meet my favorite football player, but I don't like any of the Cleveland Browns right now since they stink.
Yeah.
So I'd want to meet Kelly Holcomb. It's a guy that used to play for the Browns. Right now he's shooting ducks. He doesn't play for them anymore, but that's a guy that I'd want to meet. There you go.
Huh.
He's from Tennessee. Yeah.
All right.
How about you, Brendan?
I don't know, man. I was trying to think of it while you guys were talking about that. I can't think of anything. I think just trying to think here. If we're talking hockey, it would be Darcy Tucker. That's my guy. That's my favorite.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Tucker.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, hockey would probably be for me. Probably, I don't know. Yeah, so Tucker's a good one. I'd want to meet I haven't met Steve Yzerman. I'd want to meet him.
Yeah.
I'd want to meet Stevie Y.
Yeah.
That's good. It's cool. So Austin Matthews, huh? Why Austin Matthews?
Just he plays in Toronto, so nearby, and he's superstar. So.
Yeah.
Do you go to a lot of Leaf games, Troy?
I tried to, yeah.
Okay.
Were you always a Leaf fan growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad's a Leaf fan, so he put me on that for sure.
Of course.
Also, you'd mentioned that you played baseball. I'm a baseball guy. What position did you play?
Second base.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What team did you play for out in Barrie?
It's in my small town. We're called Mansfield.
Okay.
We played single A and one OBAs. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, just a hometown team.
All right, Troy. Favorite arena to play in right now? Then don't say London. Oh, you haven't played in London yet. Did you play Kitchener in a preseason game? I can't remember if you did. Oh, yeah, you did. You're right. So you can't say Kitchener and you can't say London. Your favorite arena to play in right now that you've played in, besides Barrie too. You can't say Barrie.
I'd say our rink.
Oh, that's a first. I like that. So everybody else says somewhere else. Okay.
No, just the feeling of being back home, kinda. So.
That's awesome, man. You know what? Sorry, let me tell you something. You got a big future ahead of you, my man. You almost had the Gordie Howe hat trick. You had the fight that weekend. You had the goal. All you needed was the assist. But I'll tell you something. You keep up the good work, the hard work, the human pinball, as I say. Thanks for joining us, Troy Patton, second-round pick of the Brampton Steelheads. And we will see you this weekend, my man. Mine's coming up soon. So
thank you very much, Troy.
Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right. That was Troy Patton of the Brampton Steelheads, and real big thanks to Troy for coming on, second round pick, former junior Barrie Junior Colt, and what a human pinball, Brendan.
That's right. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about him after the break.
All right, so when we come back, we'll talk about that interview with Troy Patton. You are listen to Trout Talk right here on Saga 960 AM. Welcome back to Trout Talk right here at Saga 960 AM. Mike Karafilidis, along with my partner Brendan Lang. And we are both broadcasters of the Brantford Steelheads. Again, this is episode 500 or 600. I'm not sure, whatever. But anyways, welcome back. So we just interviewed Troy Patton. Brendan, your thoughts about this guy?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a guy who comes in and as a 16-year-old on a team that is going to be going for it, you're not really expected to play, or he's not expecting to play a whole lot. I think we talked to James Richmond before the season, and he said if we can get him into like half the games this year, then that'll be a success. Obviously, he's had to play a lot more than what originally thought because of the injuries and all that. But I think he showed out really well. And I mean, you talk to him, and I know you've said this multiple times as well on the broadcast. Very mature and a very humble player to talk to, and just kind of getting his feet wet in the OHL. But I think he's doing a pretty good job of it. Getting the goal, getting in his first fight. I know we talked to him about that a little bit. So yeah, he's looked good. I've really liked what he's done on the fourth line so far this year.
Human pinball, man. Every time he steps out on that ice, there's just something happens, right? And he's always hitting. He's grinding out there for
Physical,
16-year-olds. He's tough. And good to get his first OHL out of the goal out of the way against North Bay Battalion. He's just going to get better and better, this guy. Former Barrie Junior Cold, of course, played with a lot of guys. Like a lot of guys, again, that got drafted with him. And, Alex McLean was on that team. Nathan Amadowski, Kent Greer, Jason Schobel, to say a few, right? This is all guys on his team that got drafted on his OHL Cup team with the Barrie Colts. So such a mature kid. Does his job when he goes out there. Very, very humble, quiet. Looks like he meditates. I'm not sure. So, but he's going to be a good one in the future. That's for sure.
100%, a good one in the future. He's already playing really well for what he's being asked to do, and yeah, for a 16-year-old to play as physical as he does, I think is a really good sign moving forward, because of course he's just going to continue to grow. We see these guys, go from their 16 to 17 to 18-year-old season when you don't see them much in the summer, and then you see them again the next year, and it's like, oh my goodness, look like a different guy. That's going to obviously be coming here for Troy Patton here moving forward. So I would expect, big things from him going forward in his OHL career for sure.
Yeah, he looks really, really good. I love the way, like, his demeanor. We talk about how humble he is. He's very, very quiet. I guess he's just again another silent assassin kind of guy out there. But real team guy. He feeds off of the energy. You could tell off of everybody kind of thing. So expect him maybe in the future to maybe be one of those guys that could be an assistant captain, that can be a captain of this team in the future. I can definitely see that. So looking forward to him in the future to see what he could do, and especially this year as well. So he's doing pretty well so far. I'm looking forward to see the way he's going to react in the second half.
Yeah, there's always kind of that wall you hit, as a rookie playing way more games than you would before. So you're right. It'll be interesting to see how he plays, and got some big games coming up this weekend. So it'll be a good test.
Because the going's going to get a lot tougher in the second half of the season. We all know that, right? Especially for a rookie and stuff like that. We'll see how he can handle it. Right now, he's handling it very, very well. So impressive. Very, very impressive. Impressive kid. Impressive all the way around. So he looks like he's going to be quite the pro moving forward. So good for him. So you know what, Brendan? Let's talk about the weekend a little bit here. Just one more little thing. What do you think the Steelheads have to do a better job of going into this weekend?
I think there's a couple things that really stood out to me, especially in that. Of course, I wasn't on the road with them, but in that game against Brantford, I feel like their zone exits need to be a little bit better. I think a lot of times they've had chances to get the puck out of their zone at their blue line and have failed to do so, allowing the Brantford defense to hold the line far too often, far too easily. So I think that those giveaways, and James Richmond has said it many times, giveaways at your own blue line and giveaways at the offensive blue line are what lose you games. So cleaning that up in the defensive zone, and sometimes same thing in the defensive zone, some missed assignments in front of the net, guys just kind of being left open in front. That's happened a few times over the weekend. So definitely looking to clean that up. I think that's probably the two biggest things. They have so much talent offensively. I don't really worry about the offensive side because even if they're struggling right now, I know they're going to break out of it because they just have so much up there. It's more so the defensive zone, making sure things are cleaned up. And if they do that, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, no, you know what? You nailed it right there. The exit's got to be a lot better. The boxing out's got to be a lot better in front of the goal, protecting your goaltender Jack Ivankovic. It was there. I feel it's there, but then sometimes it's not there. So they need that. They need that moving forward and to stay out of the penalty box and to stay out of the penalty box because it seems like every time they get into penalty trouble, then the team gets into trouble. I'm going to use it for example on Sunday, 2-2 tie. I mean, I don't know. Finn Harding got a penalty. They turned it into a goal. Right. So I'm just saying. So you just got to stay out of the penalty box. Not just Finn. Not to pick on Finn. I'm just saying in general because that's what happened. So they need to stay out of the penalty box and draw more penalties. I think being more aggressive. And I think because I go back to Friday. Do you know the Ottawa 67s? The Brampton Steelheads had 0 power plays.
Yeah.
And why do you think they had 0 power plays?
Not aggressive enough in the offensive zone. Not getting to the middle of the ice.
Exactly. Not aggressive enough in the offensive zone. So they're not drawing any penalties. Ottawa didn't need to draw any. Right. And when I saw in that game, you could look back at it and say, okay, Ottawa referees, they're not called. They didn't call one penalty in Ottawa. Yeah, they played the perfect game. But guess what? They need to just play more aggressive in the zone and to draw the penalties. And that's what they were doing earlier. They just need to go back to that. What they were doing against Brantford. They played a little more aggressive against Brantford on the Sunday. They were drawing the penalties, right? And that's what you like to see from a James Richmond squad. And I'm sure he's going to have them ready. I'm not worried about that one bit. But that's what I saw on Friday. It was just not being aggressive enough. But that's going to come. I think that would be no problem, especially with JR at the helm.
Right. And Ottawa is also the least penalized team in the OHL. So they obviously do a pretty good job of not allowing things to go too far and taking penalties. And the Steelheads have been better this year. Like last year, it was just a parade to the penalty box. Like game after game. I think the Steelheads are like 9th or 8th in penalty minutes right now. So near the middle of the league, which is obviously a lot better. But the reason I think that, like you're saying, it's so magnified is because their special teams haven't gotten off to a very good start. So when they are taking those penalties, it seems like they're kind of getting punished for it more often than not.
And okay, so let's look ahead to a couple games, of course, coming up this weekend. The Barrie Colts. The Barrie Colts are going to be coming in on Friday. This will be done by the time, whatever. And the Brantford Bulldogs again. But this time, that's okay. But this time, the Steelheads will be going to Brantford for the first time this year. Not an easy rink to play in over there in that arena, that's for sure. So Barrie again for the 4th time. It seems like it's Barrie every other week.
I was going to say for the 200th time. It's like our podcast.
It's 250. I know. May as well 251. You're right. So, but it's going to be another tough game against this Barrie Colts team. I know there's a couple suspensions out there. Evan Passmore just got suspended for 5 games. Another fella, I can't remember his name, got suspended for 2. Dabowski, I believe, got suspended for 2 games. So they'll be young. They'll be a little younger, a little thinner, but not. But they still have Sam Hillebrand. They have Wakely. They have a very, very, very talented group. Baudouin, Jelsma, Akey. It's going to be tough. Another tough game.
Yeah. It's anytime they play the Barrie Colts, it's always a tough game. And the fact that they've played them so much this year, you can maybe say, it's easier if you play a team a lot because their sort of patterns and what they do. But it also goes both ways. They know exactly what you're trying to do as well. So sometimes it makes it more difficult. Kind of like in a playoff series, when you play them over and over, you start to understand what each other are trying to do. And I feel like that's kind of similar to how it is with Barrie, just because the fact that they've played each other so much this year. So it'll be an interesting game. Obviously, when you play a team this much, there's always kind of a rivalry that starts there. So there's going to be a big rivalry, of course, in this game. I would expect it to be physical, and you see Sam Hillebrand in the net, who hasn't been as good recently against the Steelheads, but still, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. I'll knock on wood right now, because we know in the past he's been a Steelhead killer, and he's been amazing, and he's one of the better goalies in the OHL to 100%. Begin with. So it will be, they'll be in for a tough night, but it's almost imperative that the Steelheads pick up 2 points in that game. They got to find a way out of this recent slump.
They got to find a way to get 4 this weekend, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion. And you just, you nailed it right there. They got to get 2. They got to get 4. They got to get 2 on Friday. On Saturday, they need to get 2 at Brantford. Now, last year they had some success in Brantford playing them in that arena. So they just need to be physical with Brantford Bulldogs. They got to be physical again. They can't let Lardis run all over the ice like he did last game. He was pretty much all over the place. So got to stay out of the penalty box, especially against his Brantford team too. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the key to victory. Stay out of the box.
Yeah, and again, we talk about the rivalry between Barrie and Brampton. There's a massive rivalry between Brantford and Brampton. Going back years and years, we talk about it all the time. We talk about that school day game with Charlie Callahan in 3 fights. I mean, there's always a rivalry between these two teams. So the Steelheads need to find a way in that game specifically to play to the line, but just not go over it. And we saw in the game on Sunday, they went over the line a little too often against those Bulldogs, because they're going to try to bait you into penalties. I mean,
that's what they do.
It's going to happen. So they're going to have to be wary of that for sure.
Yeah, they play a hard-nosed game. They're well coached. Both teams are well coached. Mm-hmm. Marty Williamson, great coach in Barrie. Jay McKee, great coach in Brantford. Both well coached. It's going to be 2 really, really tough games. So after Friday, get your ice packs on and get ready for Friday. Get ready for Saturday, because those 2 games are going to be really, really intense. My goodness. But nice to see Leskovar back. Will be back in the lineup most likely as well for those 2 games. So we'll see what happens. Maybe one of the young guys can step up. Maybe Van Volsen can step up and whatnot. He's been playing really well lately, right? Yeah. So Zabeski's
played really well. We can talk about him just quickly here. We got about 3 minutes before we close out the show. But Zabeski coming back from injury, you had said on Friday he was great. I thought, and Saturday was great as well. Sunday was the best game I'd seen him play all year. And you got to talk to him at the intermission as well. I mean, he's been flying around the ice. He's been playing kind of the role that you expect from him. So I've really liked his game recently.
Yeah, he played amazing. Played great all weekend. He was probably, like I said, the best player on the ice on Friday. Saturday, he played well, got snake bit. He hit a goalpost, actually, on Saturday as well. Could have scored one. So, whatever. We need 4 points this weekend if you're a Steelheads fan. So, all right. So, let's get to our life tips. The only life tip I have is stop eating pizza for me. Because I'm starting to get addicted to pizza, and it's not good.
Hey, it's easy to get addicted to, man.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. And I'm addicted to that. You know what I'm addicted to? That Little Caesars. What do you call it? Stuffed crust pizza. The meat treat. Oh my God!
I don't think I've had it before. I mean, I'm intrigued now, though.
Oh no! Don't have too many of it. Don't have too much of it, because it's gonna make you feel like sleepy.
Okay.
All right, that's my life tip. Stay away from the pizza too much.
Love it. All right.
All right, so that's going to do it. All right. So that's going to do it for episode number 16 or 17 or 117. I'm not sure what it is. For my partner, Brendan Lang, I'm Mike Karafilidis, and we will see you next time.